Previously on Girlapeutic.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to another Girlapeutic video. It's your home of therapeutic
Girl talk.
Answering questions today.
Yeah, we are answering questions. Y'all questions.
Yeah. Are expectations necessary when getting to know someone? I want to hear opinions on taking a cheating man back.
We did all got upset by that, right?
Okay. The next question is, how do you plan and prepare for what God has for you? Especially if you don't know what God has for you. It's a really great question.
That is an amazing question.
You know what? I think the biggest preparation is you. Because I think if you are in a position to where you are developed, I guess you can say, or at least developing yourself, in a way you can somehow become prepared for what you're not prepared for. You can be in a position to receive whatever God has for you, because like I'm open to it. I'm positioned, like, you know, I am in a place to receive those things. So I think the biggest, in my opinion, the biggest way or how you can prepare is making sure that you're prepared.
Be intentional. Yeah, intention. Because I'll speak from even like, I guess you can say like a baby Christian. I had no idea what in the world I was doing. You know what I mean? I didn't know what that looked like. I will say though, you gotta get that word. Yes. I think that's really, and there's a difference, because as a baby Christian, I had absolutely no desire to read the Bible. I had to pray for that, because it was just like, you know, I don't really know what I'm reading. I didn't really get it yet until I did get that desire. He gave that to me, and I'm reading, and the things that were coming to life out of that book, the way that it was being applied to my life.
Okay, let me say this real quick, because I think that's key what you just said, as far as I didn't have the desire to read the Bible, and I had to pray for that desire. Listen, be real with God. We're gonna take the mysticism out. Child, it's a whole relationship. Hey, you know what? I can't get into the word like that, Lord. Like, I really want to read it, but it's kind of, you know, it put me to sleep. Baby, or, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand.
And don't
whatever.
Read it front to back.
What I'm saying is, just how she said, I went to, now that's key, but I went to God, I prayed about it. You can be real with that. You have a conversation with him about that, and he will deal with you and help you in that area. But I think it's about being real, because when we become Christians,
we feel
bad, or we feel less than, like we're not as like saved or as spiritual
as people who just,
and we just automatically want to be like, oh God, your word just opened up.
It's a process. It is. And it's all when you start to read, and it just speaks to you, and what you're applying it to your season at that moment. It's just like, it literally is the truth, and it's our guideline. You know what I mean? And get you a Bible that makes sense. Yeah. You know, it don't have to be King James. It don't have to be the King James. So get you a commentary.
Oh yeah, that helps.
Get you a commentary. Get you a dictionary.
The Life Application Bible.
I love, you put me on that one. Love that. And the I recently got the Tony Evans commentary. Chef's Kiss. I love me some Tony Evans, okay? He be letting you know. Anyway. Yes. Like, it's that word. It started with that word.
And definitely I agree with both. You have to be honest.
You have to.
Because we just be acting like, God already knows, first of all. Don't think of yourself more highly than you should. And it's okay.
Can you repeat that though, about not feeling too? What'd you say?
Do not think of yourself more highly than you should.
I feel like that is the juice that we have all had to drink.
Yes. Jesus said, keep drinking. Honey. That's why I love the space that we have here, because you can just be real. You don't feel like praying. I don't. And let me tell you something, y'all. I work for the altar in my church. And I don't feel like every day like praying. It's my quiet time with God is not the same every day. Every time when I wake up and spend time with him in the morning, it's not, okay, let me pray. Sometimes I gotta worship to wake up, because I'm like, God, I'm tired on today. I'm getting, you know. But
a little bit today.
Be real.
But that's how Christianity can seem a little off-putting or weird or really mystical, because you don't hear people say things like that, as far as I don't feel like it sometimes. You think people grab this, like, all this greatness and all this whatever out the blue. And it's okay if you go through seasons to where it's not the same.
It's not.
That's normal.
I've just recently come out of one of those seasons. Like,
I understand.
Just not, and he knows that that's the thing, and he wants to be in those seasons with you.
Yeah.
That's what the key right there. He wants to be there with you because through his strength, whether it's an off day, he gonna give you a little something.
It's about that effort that you put in.
That effort. Fight your way out of it. But you can come out of it.
Yeah, know that it's not gonna be, I'm not gonna be up here all the time.
That's not realistic.
It's just the fact that I think God appreciates the fact that, okay, you still taking time to even, I don't feel like doing this, God, but I'm gonna still come talk to you anyway.
You gotta be real about that stuff.
Be real.
Be real about, you know, I think until you have that true moment with him, there's a lot of Christians who believe, but they don't necessarily have that love. The things that they're, you know, being obedient for is could be out of fear, or just because I think this is what I'm supposed to do, and not truly because you know, you love Christ. And that's another thing that I had to really pray and ask for, because I'm like, Lord, I know I'm supposed to be doing this. I know I'm supposed to love you, but it ain't really making sense for me right now.
Be honest about that. I know I'm not loving you how I probably should, so can you help me?
I've had to pray that many times.
Yeah.
And I think the thing is, we try to convince God to believe
that we love him.
That, like, we try to convince him to believe what we're telling ourselves. But, like, he already knows what's up.
Be honest. My daughter, you're lying.
And that'll strengthen your relationship.
It will.
It'll strengthen your relationship with him. And then
it'll make it more real.
Yeah. And it'll help you get to know yourself.
Yeah.
Because it's like we're not only pretending for God, we're pretending for us too. So I'm putting off this image of who I want to be instead of who I actually am. You can't do that because there won't be any real growth.
And as you start to grow, I promise you, even in the weak seasons, it's uncomparable. It's sweet. Even in the worst times. You better sing, honey.
Listen, because I'm old school. Baby, these babies don't know nothing about that.
Because that one, I know Tank.
That spirit. Look, that Negro spirit.
I know Tank.
But I know that one, sister.
She said I'm a helmet.
Listen, put in the comment line.
She got that mace out. Sweeter.
What's that book that they pull out from the back of the
The hymn book.
The hymn book. That hymn book, honey.
Baby, put in the comments. Do you know sweet as the day go by?
Tell her no.
Don't do that. Where my mother's at? Come on, mother.
Say anybody over 70 watching this video.
Anybody over 75. Put in the comments. It's sweet as the day go by.
We saving the day. We love theories around here.
Listen. In the tape.
Y'all do that quick.
Look, listen. She said, oh, I know that. No, that's tape.
No, that's tape.
But y'all know sweet as the day go by.
Y'all, who wrote that?
Baby, I don't know who wrote it. We go check the description. We gonna
no, she lying.
We gonna put it in the description box. Don't worry, baby.
Where you can find it on the YouTube.
Right. Find it on the YouTube.
You probably gonna find it there. They don't know.
Don't do that. My God. Don't do.
Oh, my stomach.
Where my fan?
Okay. Any final thoughts?
Intention.
Yeah.
It was intention. Getting that word. And be real.
And don't stress about it.
And don't stress. Yeah. Don't stress.
Don't overthink.
Look, let me tell you
that's
something.
The devil.
That's the devil right there.
That's the devil. Let me just say, I had to tell them earlier. I said the devil was messing with my mind, and I let him know I had to beat that devil up. Because he really does that. I truly believe he attacks you in your mind.
Yes.
And then, because you could definitely be doing what. Okay, I've been trying not to do too much, but I'm gonna have to say this one.
You have to.
Mm-hmm. Now in Nehemiah. Now what had happened was he started building the wall, and his enemies wanted to start a fight to confuse him. So you know what that tells me? That you can definitely be doing what God has told you to do, and the devil is gonna come and try to confuse you.
Because who's the author of confusion?
The devil. So honestly, do not overthink it. Don't get in your don't do it.
Don't do it.
Because people will confirm what you're supposed to be doing anyway.
Yeah.
God drops stuff in your spirit, and then somebody come along and be like, girl, just happened today.
And the further you get and the closer you get, the more it's going to happen. And it's not, don't be afraid. Because he's trying to disrupt, okay? He's trying to throw you off.
But let God fight for you.
Yes. Put your arm on him, okay? And keep proceeding because, baby, it's already done.
And in those moments, be real.
Be real.
Tell God, I'm struggling. I thought this is what I was supposed to.
Because when you ain't in his will, the devil's quiet.
Yeah.
Because you doing what he wants you to do, okay? You know what I mean?
He don't need to be active.
He don't need to be active.
He don't need to make you double guess.
You don't. He don't need to do that because I got you right where I want you to.
Yeah, it's my dog.
So come on, okay? Because I know.
If you wondering what she said with the armor, check out Ephesians 6 and 11. I think that is. Check it out. Make sure you got your armor on.
Put your armor on.
Put your armor on.
You gonna need that.
All right, last question. It says, I'm really curious about your take on is porn in relationships and if y'all are okay with your partners using it. So I guess they're asking, they want our take on if porn is okay in relationships and if we are okay with our partners using it, because she says, my boyfriend and I have had some problems surrounding porn use lately, and I'm so curious about your thoughts.
That's a great question.
That's a really good question.
We're gonna be real raw here, okay? I think a lot of people, myself included, have struggled with this, and the reason why it's not okay. Let's just start there. It's not okay. One, you are literally watching other people, kind of in a way defile their body, which is not something that God condones. For one. Two, it can construe what the intention of sex is. You know, you get into porn, you start seeing all types of stuff, stuff that is unnatural, stuff that really never was really meant to be seen. You know what I mean? And as we live in a fallen world, you know how wrong it is, you can see why it does that, because why it's enticing, why it's so easily to fall into. It's because it's a temptation. So when you bring that into a relationship, not only are you getting away from the natural chemistry that you and your spouse may have within the relationship, but you're also taking on whatever them. We don't know what them folks did up in that video prior to.
Yeah.
You bringing all that up in
all
there.
Spirits,
in your relationship, you know, and in a way, it's just another form of temptation, another form of immorality that you're introducing, and a lot of people struggle, like I said, including myself. I've been there, and it took a minute for me to even just like let it go. But you really have to give that to God, and it's not okay in your relationship. It plants many thoughts in your mind, many temptations that would never be there.
Yeah,
had you not seen it. So yeah, I know a lot of people, even like preachers, who have shared their testimony of watching it within their marriage and how it literally destroyed their marriage. And by the grace of God, they were able to, you know, come back to each other and really work through that. But it's a temptation that starts in the mind, and it's I think a lot of people, and women too, have a lot of shame around it. You know, men not so much, because it's kind of cool at some points, you know, but I think women, definitely there's some shame around it, because it's not necessarily something that is said that we struggle with too, when it absolutely is.
I agree wholeheartedly. I've been there. I understand. I do feel like in a relationship, your question was, are we okay with our partners using it? No. I think that it can, and by you asking the question, it seems like it bothers you. And so I would be curious, and this is your boyfriend, so I would be curious to see if it's something that he even deems as a struggle.
Right.
Because if you don't deem it as a struggle and you're okay with it, I think that brings in another conversation.
Yeah.
So if we are looking at it as something that we won't allow, or we don't find allowable, is that a good word to use? Yeah. Within our relationships, does he share that same thought?
Yeah.
And now he's just in a place to where he's struggling with it. That's a different conversation. See if there's ways that you can assist him. And I also think it's different if you're married.
Yes.
And your spouse is going through it. That's different. But I think you also have to determine if that's something that you're willing to help him through. Mm-hmm. Because also, if you're not willing to help him through that, and this is an issue for you, then it could be the end of that relationship.
Yeah.
I think you just have to be real with yourself, real with where you're going and what you desire, and go from there.
Yep.
Marriage, if you're watching this and you're someone who's married and your spouse is going through that, then you definitely have to think of action plans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Figure out how I can help. Yeah, there's things there's this website called Covenant Eyes that I've heard of before, and it definitely helps this helps a lot of men and women who struggle with pornography, and just keeping it. It actually, I guess, keeps people who you are connected with abreast of like your search history and stuff like that. Now, it may seem extreme, but how bad you want to be out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so if you're willing to do that, then some steps need to be taken. Mm-hmm. But you definitely have to have somebody who's going to, or he has to have someone who's going to help him be accountable. Whether that's you, if he wants to be accountable, whether that's you or that's a friend or whomever.
Because you're just bringing so many different things, especially with Christian dating. Because if you already have the mindset that you want to wait, and then you see that, I'm gonna be tempted to try that out.
Oh, absolutely.
And not only that, what you're doing in your private time when you're watching that to yourself, like it goes into so many other things. So I definitely, me personally, I agree with you guys. I'm not for pornography in a relationship. It just leads to too many other things.
It does.
And then you're inviting a whole nother group of people in your space, even if you're married. Because I've heard some people who are married, they don't think it's a big deal to watch porn. Mm-hmm. But you inviting a whole nother couple into this space. It's just, to me, it's just kind of...
You're planting them seeds.
You're planting seeds.
Yeah. If you're struggling with that, like, just know that it starts with acknowledgement. But if you're not someone who thinks that it's bad per se, then you're not going to feel that same. Yeah. You know, it's just not going to be there.
Because it taints, like you said earlier, it pretty much taints sex. Because that's not natural. A lot of the stuff that they do, that's not natural. That's not what you... And then you go into a marriage and if you haven't been healed from that, you expect this person I'm marrying to be like what I saw there. And that's not going to be the case.
It's
you know, it's just...
And half that stuff is fabricated.
Well, and you can find your own way. Like, that's not just the...
Like, what's in this? Let's try.
No. Yeah. You know what I'm
saying? Let me tell you something. We're going to make up our own stuff.
That's what I'm saying, child.
Okay.
Oh, I was going to say something I would say to y'all.
And then I'll say this last thing. With situations like that, how does that make you feel?
Right.
Like, as I'm a woman, I'm in a relationship with somebody, or especially if I'm married, and it makes you feel like I'm just not enough. Like, this ain't good enough. I need to go and get this.
Get more.
And really, it's not necessarily that it's you. It's just this person really needs help if they want help. So, yeah.
And it starts with curiosity, because that's how it started for me, just curious. And then it turned into a whole...
college.
Oh, so baby, let me tell you something. Okay. I was younger than that.
Yeah, mine started much younger.
It was much younger. And that's the thing, too. We have to... As kids, obviously, we wouldn't know to guard our eyes and guard. We won't know that as kids, but it's so easily accessible nowadays, especially now, even from years ago since we've been kids. Like now, oh my word, honey. So I think too, parents
have to be
watch your kids, and talk to them about it. That's one thing that I will say could have possibly made the difference, especially if you have parents who are also Christians. I think the age gaps kind of plays a difference in it. But one thing I will do with my kids is not only tell them, you know, you need to wait to have sex, but why? Yeah. It was always taught to me, well, don't do it. Don't wait till you get married. And child, the way Brooke work, I'm like, okay, but y'all ain't give me the whys. I'm gonna do what I need to do.
It's so much deeper than we just don't want you to get
deeper
pregnant.
than that. Exactly.
It's so much more.
I think for me, it just started as curiosity, and I was not about to go to my parents and be like, hey, like, And by the time, you know, I did what I need to do, I was knee deep in the game. Okay.
Because I saw it when I was a kid, but when I actually was like, wait a minute, it was when I was in college, and my friends, I had another thing, you gotta have the right friends. But my roommate's like, you've never seen? I'm like, no, I didn't even. I said, oh, whoa, what's this?
And then you know, you start to be tolerant
Yeah.
I can even vividly remember at one point when
Instead
I was
of
like,
kind of
oh,
like, well, it's
you
just
like,
like, okay.
Oh, that's very true.
Yeah.
Because I remember there was a time, and it's not funny, but I had gotten to a place where I could watch it just like a movie.
Honey, oh, this is a good scene. Like, yeah, literally.
And literally just not be bothered.
Mm-hmm.
Just, so, yeah. It definitely takes seat in you.
Yeah.
And again, your question, you say that y'all had some problems surrounding it, so I guess it is bothering you. So,
yeah.
So
that's a sign right there.
Yeah. And if he wants to get help, then, and like Des said earlier, you have to figure out if that's something you want to help him
right
through. Especially with you guys not being married. And I would personally say get somebody else involved. Like maybe an older male who, I don't know, he maybe struggled and got over that. Or somebody else where it's not just you. Because if it's just us, like me and my man, and we talk, I don't know where it's going to lead. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? We can start out one way, like, you know, you really need to stop doing this. And it's too much.
It's too much.
So definitely I would recommend getting somebody else involved who can be more of a help in that situation.
Yep.
Yeah. That he trusts.
That he trusts.
That
Yeah.
he trusts,
And because you can't just be like, hey, this is Tommy. Met him online. Like, don't do that. It definitely needs to be somebody that person trusts if he wants to move past that. And it sounds like you said earlier, it is bothering you. So that's something that needs to be worked on for sure.
Yeah.
If he wants to keep the relationship.
Well,
is that it?
That answers all the questions that we have. Yes. Y'all, let us know if y'all want to talk to us.
Yes.
We don't mind answering your questions. We don't mind talking about whatever y'all want to talk about. As you can see, we've had a wide range as far as relationships, sex, as far as faith, you know, just we'll talk about it all. That's what this girl chat, girl talk, Girlapeutic is about. It's your home with therapeutic girl talk. What do you mean?
What do you mean? Ask some more questions because I enjoyed this.
Men and women.
Men and women.
We got you.
We got you.
Because we're going to tell you.
We ain't gonna hold back. No punches. We're gonna tell you what it is.
Our opinions. Yes. Facts.
Our opinions.
Well, y'all got something else?
Going down.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Girl, somebody get her. Continue on in Jesus' name.
She act like her name Hilda.
Okay, but on a well, that is serious for real. Stay with
go with God.
Subscribe and
like and share.
Yeah,
we're here.
Share.
I feel like Instagram too.
That's true.
Follow us on Instagram.
Follow Girlapeutic on Instagram.
Yes, follow us at Girlapeutic. It'll be right here. Follow us.
Yes.
And let us know if y'all have any questions. We're gonna leave an email link down below to where if you have questions, you can DM us, you can email us, whatever it is, and we can do another video like this if you enjoyed it. Okay.
Yes.
We will talk to y'all later. Bye.
Bye guys.